Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. We begin today with our politics lead. The special counsel for the Russia investigation is talking to the president's team about trying to conduct an interview with President Trump soon, one for which the president said he would sit. But now we know President Trump has tried to prevent that interview from ever happening by trying to fire Robert Mueller as special counsel. In June of last year, an informed source tells CNN that President Trump ordered the firing of the special counsel. And as the New York Times was first to report, President Trump was only stymied from the firing when Chief White House counsel Don McGahn threatened to quit if the president went through with it. The story was shocking and yet simultaneously not particularly surprising. After all, last summer, Trump friend and confidant Chris Ruddy of Newsmax said this.
I think he's considering perhaps terminating the special counsel. I think he's weighing that option.
At the time, CNN had additional reporting confirming that to be true. And since then, the White House repeatedly and vociferously, off the record, on background, on the record, denied it.
While the president has the right to, he has no intention to do so.
The president is not discussing firing Bob Mueller.
I haven't given it any thought.
Are you considering firing Robert Mueller?
No, not at all.
Is there any chance at all that the president will try to fire Robert Mueller?
The answer to that is no.
These denials went all the way to Switzerland today, where in Davos, President Trump denied that which multiple sources have confirmed to multiple media outlets, from the New York Times to Fox News, from CNN to the Washington Post.
Robert Mueller.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
The falsehoods told to the public by this White House are so commonplace now they no longer seem to even raise eyebrows. But more important, perhaps, than this cascading waterfall of lies is the fact that this is just the latest evidence of President Trump's desire and actions to end the Russia probe. Last winter, as Americans learned more about Russian efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election, President Trump kicked off his relationship with his own FBI director by asking Director Jim Comey for his loyalty, according to Comey, a request made just days after the FBI had interviewed then National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, and Flynn lied to them about his contacts with Russia. That lie was something that McGahn told President Trump about that month, sources tell CNN. Now, President Trump later tested that loyalty request by urging Comey to drop the FBI's probe into Flynn, whom he had just fired. And ultimately, with the Russia investigation on his mind, the president, as we know, fired Comey. We also know the president leaned on his attorney general, Jeff Sessions, to not recuse himself from supervising the Russia probe. And then, after the recusal, contemplated firing Sessions. The president has also contemplated firing Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who oversees the probe, the New York Times has reported. We know that the president helped draft that false explanation that Donald Trump Jr. shared with the world about why he met with the Russian lawyer who had promised dirt on Hillary Clinton. They pretended it was about adoptions. On top of it all, and all that we know now, President Trump ordered that Mueller be fired as well. Now, whether or not this all constitutes obstruction of justice or attempted obstruction of justice, that will be up to Robert Mueller and the Congress, maybe even a judge. What is clearer is the political fact that President Trump has already had his months-long version of President Richard Nixon's Saturday Night Massacre, when Nixon ordered Attorney General Elliot Richardson to fire independent special prosecutor Archibald Cox. Richardson refused, leading to Richardson's resignation and that of Deputy Attorney General William Ruckelshaus. After all, Trump has already fired Comey with Russia on his mind, and he tried to fire Mueller. But unlike Richardson with Nixon, McGahn's pushback worked. Still, we're all just sitting around and waiting to see how far President Trump is willing to push this and how much his advisors and Republicans in Congress are willing to put up with.